Syracuse, NY. Syracuse football begins its November push toward bowl eligibility at Florida State on Saturday afternoon at Doak Campbell Stadium. Here are 5 reasons why Syracuse will win the game and become the first ACC team since North Carolina in 2010 to defeat both Clemson and Florida State in the same season. And we're giving you 5 reasons why Florida State will win the game. James Blackman, Michael Dwyer, The Associated Press. 5 reasons Syracuse will win. 1. Defense stifles FSU QB. Syracuse is giving up 24.6 points per game this season, an improvement of 14 points per game over last season. To put that in perspective, it is the 5th best one-year turnaround in the nation, and it would be the best one-year turnaround in program history. The defense should get a lift with defensive end Kendall Coleman returning, and it will have a golden opportunity to disrupt redshirt freshman quarterback James Blackman and stifle the FSU offense. Road.jpg. Dennis Nett at Syracuse.com. 2. Syracuse wants a road win. The Orange has come close in each of its 3 road contests this season, falling within a couple possessions at LSU, North Carolina State and Miami, Florida. For a group that looks to unearth every ounce of motivation, winning on the road is a box it can check off this weekend against a college football blue blood. Ishmael.jpg. Dennis Nett at Syracuse.com. 3. Florida athletes make statement. Syracuse is making its 2nd straight trip to Florida, where several of its best players call home. Cornerback Juwan Dowells was high school teammates with Florida State cornerback Tarvis McFadden. Tight end Ravian Pierce also attended school in Plantation, Florida. Steve Ishmael, a North Miami Beach native, will likely draw McFadden in coverage. The matchup will give Ishmael a chance to add to his tape for NFL evaluators. McFadden is regarded as one of the top draft-eligible corners. Strickland.jpg. Dennis Nett at Syracuse.com. 4. Sue's backfield will grind. Don't sleep on the backfield of Eric Dungey and Dante Strickland outplaying FSU's backfield of Blackman and 5-star freshman tailback Cam Akers. Dungey and Strickland each rushed for 100 yards 2 weeks ago at Miami. It was the first time Syracuse had 2 players rush for 100 yards in the same game since Maryland in 2014. Strickland has been steady throughout the season and can be a huge weapon in the 4- and 6-minute offense late in the game. Dennis Nett at Syracuse.com. 5. Dungey lives for the big games. Dungey will tell you he wants to win every game he ever plays. That's true. But games like Florida State provide a little more oomph for players like Dungey who are under-recruited coming out of high school. The chance to compete against the best players in college football offers a higher level of motivation, and Dungey yearns to make a statement in such arenas. He'll want to put a more complete performance out there after throwing 4 first-half interceptions his last time out. Stephen Kennan, The Associated Press. 5 reasons Florida State will win. 1. Don't forget, FSU's D-line is good. Between defensive ends Brian Burns and Josh Sweat and interior stud Derek Nottie, count Florida State's D-line among the best in the ACC, perhaps a notch down from Clemson and North Carolina State. The drop-off is not significant, and while Sue did okay against Clemson, Sue won. But Clelin Ferrell was still unblockable. NC State and Miami pressured Dungey, and the offense couldn't consistently move the ball. Stephen Kennan, The Associated Press. 2. FSU's secondary has 2 first-round quality picks. Things don't get any easier on the back end for Dungey and the receivers as Florida State deploys Derwin James and McFadden, 2 defensive backs projected to go in the first round of next year's NFL draft. It will be fascinating to see how Florida State uses James, regarded as one of the best all-around players in college football. Will it match him up on Pierce or Phillips? Will he spy Dungey to minimize his impact on the ground? Will he blitz? Expect anything and everything from James. Stephen Kennan, The Associated Press. 3. Florida State can't possibly keep losing. Actually, it can. But Florida State has too much talent to finish with just 3 wins. We're going to pencil in a victory against Delaware State later in the season. After Syracuse, Florida State travels to Clemson and later to Florida. One can only imagine the level of motivation for that end-of-season matchup against the Gators, which is enduring its own nightmare season and just fired its coach. Ben Mickey in the Associated Press. 4. Auden Tate is still a big play threat. Florida State has been ravaged with injuries at the receiver position and will be missing Keith Gavin and George Campbell again on Saturday afternoon. FSU moved safety Erman Lane to receiver to help with depth, giving it 5 healthy scholarship receivers. One name to remember is Auden Tate, who leads the receivers with 5 touchdowns. A big target, Tate is a matchup nightmare in the red zone. And as Sue found out at LSU, it might only take 1 or 2 big plays to be the difference in a game.